So after talking about the life cycle of a controller, let's start talking about validating the user input, specifically in a UI controller. When the user enters data, sometimes we want to validate it. And if we look at the event that we played with, the one that sounds the most fitting for it is the OnSavingRow, which happens when the user is about to save the row. There's no point in doing validations in any other context, or there are some, but in the context of the controller lifecycle, it's not really required. We want to have a piece of code that only runs when the user changes it, makes some change to the data, and then it will execute. So OnSavingRow is the ones that we want to use. So let's go ahead to our code and remove everything that we added for the demo. So let's take away this demo write line and all of this debug write line, and just leave the OnSavingRow here. So I'll take all of this stuff out and all of this stuff out. Perfect. Yay. Let's run this now. Put this to the right. Go ahead and have our show orders. And if we look at our output window, we can see that as we go through the rows, nothing happens. But if we'll update something, we can see that the OnSavingRow happens. So this is the event we want to use to start writing some validation. Great. Let's commit these changes. Remove demo debug write line. Great. Now let's start doing our basic validation. Let's say here that if orders.orderDate .year is less than 1990, let's do a message box like we've done before and say invalid year. Let's run this. So we'll go through our code and everything would work great. But if we change something to be an invalid year, let's say 1960, we'll get the message box invalid year.